Thank you for listening to Pal Block Podcast, the flagship Nintendo podcast of Boss Rush Network. Do you need even more gaming and entertainment in your life? Head over to bossrush.net where you can find news, reviews, creators, podcasts, and more focused around the content you enjoy.
Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pal Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, the enlightened, excited Eddie V. I'm so happy to be back with this crew. We had a good spring break, everybody, and we got a great episode planned for you. Joining me, though, is the gallivanting Gallatron himself, Mr. Jacob Taylor.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yes! Welcome back, good sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Of course, it's the one, the only, my best friend, my homie, my bro him, the boss man himself, Mr. Corey Derrick.
Hello, it's good to be back.
Yes.
That was I'm going to be real excited, but my children are sleeping, so I'm going to be real quiet.
Yes, and everybody, we got a very special guest. She'll never be a mystery. She only creates history. It's the one, the only, Becca.
Hi. Happy to
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you, Becca.
Oh yes, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Becca was serving me eyes yesterday, and I was just like, give me that 90s Snore Detective makeup with the look was on point.
That made my whole day.
I seen it and I was just like, oh, because you look, you look like a different person, but I was just like, oh, the eyes are on point. Perfect. Just literally perfect. So that's why I was just like, yeah, she'll never be a mystery. She's making history right now. Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody, we just had our Boss for spring break, so we got a lot to catch up on. Becca, I'm going to ask you, how was your weekend?
It was really good. It was kind of long. I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of projects right now, so the weekends are just working but not at work right now. But it was good though. It was good to take a break from the 9 to 5.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
Corey, how was your weekend?
It was okay. Just did the things. I played some games. I hung out with the family, and we we watched some movies, and yeah, it was pretty relaxing. So, yeah.
Oh. Jacob, how was your weekend?
My weekend has been kind of a little bit crazy. I'm actually preparing for hopefully, fingers crossed, selling my house and moving. So it's been a little crazy, but I'm trying to get everything timed out and working out properly.
All right. For me, I finally got my haircut, even though it may not look like it. The Pimptastic hair that I had to go. I told my barber that I wanted to go bald, but he gave me like a bald fade, so I wasn't worried about it. I'm like, look, I got all my hair gone. That's good enough. Still working. Play some games. Got to eat some snacks. Actually tried out the Philly steak Domino's pizza, and it was really good. It's very interesting, to say the least. And also did some special recordings with a person that it's been a long time that I have been recording with, and I'm very I'm very excited for you guys to hear what is coming from us with that episode. And what we're going to be diving into next is a certain console and handheld, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'll let you guys wonder what could he be talking about. I'll let you guys
Man, you make everything sound like the biggest mystery of all time.
Uh-oh, did we lose Ed?
Uh-oh. I think we lost.
Oh no!
I think we lost Ed.
Well, I think we did too. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and switch it over to Snacktendo for us since we lost Ed for a little bit. Corey, what have you been snacking on this week?
Yes, I had some cupcakes because my wife and my daughter made cupcakes together. And let me tell you, they were delicious. So, long story short, my son may or may not have a dairy allergy. We're not quite sure yet. But,
oh, no.
But, so my wife found these dairy-free cupcakes, and my wife and my daughter made them, and we ate them, and they are super delicious. So that's what I snacked on this weekend. Also, my parents came over and they brought donuts from like a bakery that's real close to here, and can't pass up a good donut.
No, dude, absolutely not. I go to get kolaches on Saturday, and then inevitably have to also get a donut. I'm usually a fan of the eclair.
So she brought over. So apparently this is just an Ohio thing, but we call them chocolate cream sticks.
Yeah, that's the eclair, right? Other
but
people call it. It's like a long john.
Yeah, but it has cream in it.
Yeah, eclairs do too.
Okay. Yeah. So I never knew that until like 6 months ago when somebody asked me what a chocolate cream stick was, and I was like, I don't know. It's a donut with cream inside. I don't know. What do you want? But also the donut that I loved yesterday, or what's today? Saturday. Chocolate cake with chocolate icing. Just a very basic donut.
Yes.
It's very chocolatey.
It is.
Well,
yes.
I do not want to steal Snacktendo away from Ed. So Ed, why don't you go take away? What were you snacking on this weekend?
Oh, so I had like I said, the Domino's that I had. Actually tried this new drink. This is the Tropicana Caribbean Sunset. It's like a juice with like orange apples. Kind of like a tropical thing. Really good. Drinking it. It kind of tastes like Hawaiian punch, but a little bit sweeter in a sense, and it was really good. Other than that, I tried the new chicken lime from Chipotle and everything. It was fine. It wasn't nothing too big or anything, and pretty much that's about it. There hasn't been any new like candy or snacks that have came in like my job or anything. So that's kind of pretty much because I talked about the honey graham M&Ms last time, which is still good. But other than that, sorry, that's all I've been snacking on.
That's not enough, Ed. You usually come with like a half hour's worth of snacks where we can get up and get snacks and pee and I don't know. Check on other household appliances that may or may not be on fire.
Well, a lot of our candy and drink stuff is about to change. So a lot of stuff been like discontinued until the new product and stuff get in. So we're waiting for those items to come in and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I've been snacking on. I haven't been to the like grocery store because the last thing I actually snacked on was that German chocolate cake. Store bought German chocolate cake is so good, just so good. Well, the grocery store close to me, I should say, was good.
Well, it's a very hot take that Ed is the one that doesn't have a whole lot of Snacktendo stuff to talk about. But what about you, Rebelody? What do you have for Snacktendo this week?
Well, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, Boss Rush Network, and they mentioned the hot Cheeto pepper puffs. I think it was Ed that mentioned. I think that's what we found out. And so I saw them at the store, and so I had to try them. And they're too hot for me. But I'm also not super like I like spicy food, but I don't like it to be hot that I can't taste anything else. And they're pretty hot. So I tried those, and then I actually just made before I got on the show, I'm a big breakfast for dinner kind of person. So I made egg and cheese empanadas.
Ooh.
And they all busted, which is fine because this is the first time I've ever made them, but they were delicious. So
did you get the cheddar jalapeno popcorn from Lay's?
No, they were just flaming hot Cheetos, and like they're the color of the Boss Rush background, like the red.
The POW block background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
POW block. Yeah, sorry, they're the color of that. So they're like, I opened it and I was like, oh, these just look like these are gonna kill me. But then I ate them anyway because
Tiny
why not?
meteors.
Yeah,
but I didn't touch a controller afterward.
Yeah,
Good.
So the Cheetos, they got like that cheddar jalapeno ones. But they turned it into a popcorn flavor.
Ooh.
So that's the one that I tried.
Okay.
And they're not that spicy. I was just like, ooh, I could eat a bag of this. Because I brought a big bag and ran through it within 2 days and stuff, and it was just it was good. The only thing that sucked was having the popcorn seeds and you just have to spit them out and everything. Yeah. That was it and everything.
I'll have to try those.
You guys just reminded me, we actually made tacos last night too, and my wife found a Taco Bell fire sauce in a bottle. And so yeah, that was good. Except my mouth all night, I woke up probably like 5 or 6 times because my mouth was on fire. So
don't try the pepper puffs, Corey.
Yeah. It's okay.
Don't do it.
It'll be fine.
Corey was really a Charmander.
I feel like Corey's at least a Charmeleon. He's maybe not quite there to a Charizard, but he's at least a Charmeleon, I think.
Well, I think that's the thing about it. Corey's the Charizard and I'm the grass type,
Are you saying you're the one nobody picks at the beginning?
Rebelody picks grass type.
Okay, first of all,
all right, we would not have the shade tonight.
I have a Chikorita hanging from my mirror in my car. Okay?
I'm sorry.
From the chat, Restray says Pain Red was the color of your Cheetos Puffs. Pain Red. And Aaron says, in response to Corey, that they call it fire sauce for a reason. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
I know, but they also have Diablo sauce now, which is even hotter.
It's not that hot, though.
I know. It's supposed to be hotter. I'll say that.
Yeah. So for me, I picked up a different type of peanut butter than I usually pick up in order to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I got lured in by marketing because I bought the Reese's peanut butter instead of like Skippy or Jif, which is what I usually get. And this Reese's peanut butter is like a solid 3 out of 10.
Wow.
It's really, really disappointing. Because like Reese's peanut butter has like a very distinct flavor to it, I feel. And so I was looking forward to that. I knew it wasn't going to have any sort of like chocolatey flavor to it at all because it looked just like peanut butter. It wasn't like that swirly kind that you can find.
Yeah.
But it's like the most bland of bland peanut butter I've ever tasted. There's like no saltiness to it. There's no like it's not really even creamy, really. It's just very, very basic and bland. And then in other news, G Fuel brought back the best flavor of all time, which is sour green apple. And so Rebellion and I went in together and got 6 tubs of it because we only got 2 of it last time and we ran out really quickly. And then we were like, the rest of the year we were like, oh no, because they I think they only bring it back for this time of year for St. Paddy's Day. So yeah, we were like, not again. We're buying 6 tubs of it during their buy one get one free deal. So I got that and mailed her 3 tubs off to her, and I've got 3 tubs for myself. So
nice.
Yep. But yeah, back to you, Ed. That was our Snacktendo segment.
Back to you, Ed.
All right. Well, everybody, it is time for Hey You, What's New? And this is our new releases that is coming out. Shout out to Dan Murphy, who couldn't be on the show today. Once again, he's still investigating some new things that's supposed to be coming. So when he gets back, we'll definitely be talking about that. Starting Tuesday, March 22nd, we have A Place for the Unwilling, which is a branching narrative adventure, and Kraken Academy. The demo, there is a demo. You could team up with a Kraken and save Kraken Academy in this high school adventure for $17.99. Wednesdays is Chippy, Tempest 4000. The Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World, which is a visual novel starring a disgruntled pizza boy. And it's kind of like, it looks like FMV video from like the early 2000s and it looks terrible. So if you can take a look at that, if you guys care for. Thunder Kid Hunt for the Robot Emperor is a low poly run and gun game in the third person view. And that's digital for $7.99. Thursday though, oh actually, and I forgot everybody, on the 22nd is Rune Factory 5 coming to Nintendo Switch. You can go on the eShop and get the basic version or a bundle that is on it. You guys can get that. Thursday, March 24th is Airy Calm Mind 2. Andro Dunos 2, which is a direct sequel to SNK's 1992 side-scrolling shooter for $19.99, and Super Nanaru, a scrolling jump timing game. And of course, Friday on March 25th, Devastator, twin-stick shooter designed for modern consoles. Rune Factory 5, which is actually, like I said, on the 22nd. It's not actually the 25th. But Kirby and the Forgotten Land, there is that demo still available. And Kirby is back in fully 3D adventure. And it's $59.99 on the eShop and $59.99 physically at retail stores. I have my copy already reserved. I cannot wait to pick this game up and play it. It looks like it's going to be so much fun, and just all the laughs that I got for the demo is really good. But anything interest any of you guys, Corey?
I mean, not really. I mean, I think Kirby is the one that sticks out to everybody, right? Because I mean, I think it looks more like Super Mario 3D World than it does Mario Odyssey. But I didn't play enough of the demo to even know what kind of vibe this game is giving off. But I think that's the game that everybody's pointing to and saying that's I mean, that's the pick of the week, right? I mean, I don't think anybody is going after Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World, right? I mean, I'm not.
Speak for yourself, Corey.
You know what, Jacob? If you stream that game, I will send you G Fuel.
Done. Done.
All right, Becca, anything interest you?
Yes. Rune Factory 5 interests me. I have been waiting for that game for however long it was announced ago. And I am extra, so I got the Earthmade edition, which came with a fancy box, a steel book, an art book, an original soundtrack, and 13 exclusive outfits.
Oh, nice.
13? Whoa.
Yeah. You are so jealous. I can tell.
I am.
I'm jealous. I don't have that edition.
Call me PB because I'm jelly.
I'm also excited for Kirby, but I spent my money, $85, on a collector's edition of Rune Factory, so I'm going to wait on Kirby until like my next paycheck. But still exciting.
I will say that I was watching the new trailer for Rune Factory, and it looks a little bit more action-packed this time.
It's apparently, I've been watching YouTube videos about it for like the last month. Apparently it's similar to Frontier, like that's the gameplay element. And it's the first one that's like fully 3D, that's just part of this series. And this is really cool too. You can pick, if you're playing, you can pick boys or girls for your spouse. So that's exciting, because before you were limited to picking the opposite gender, you had to be straight. So this time you don't have to. So that's cool.
Yes. Just one more game, everybody. Valis 1, 2, and 3 is also coming to Switch on March 24th. This is a 2D side-scrolling game. A lot of it didn't really come to America, but it's like a big deal to a lot of people who know about the series coming to America on Switch. But Jacob, what are you interested in?
Like Rebelody, I'm also interested in Rune Factory 5. I love the Rune Factory series, so this one's going to be very exciting for me. However, I'm the opposite of her because I'm picking up Kirby, and I'll have to wait on Rune Factory. So there's that little difference there. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for Kirby. I still absolutely hate mouthful mode. On just at the very core of my being, I despise mouthful mode, but from what I played in the demo, it didn't ruin the game for me, so it's still okay.
Okay. Well, everybody, that has been, hey, you, what's new? And now it's the moment you all been waiting for. Who won the giveaway from Nintendo Pop Lock?
Okay, so I'm having second thoughts on this now, Ed.
Okay.
I don't know, because we went one way, but then somebody else also did everything that we asked them, and now it's what do we do? What do we do, Ed? What do we do? So I have zero answer. This is yours and Jacob's fight now.
I say we leave it up to luck.
What? How do we do that? How do we luck it out?
Well, here, y'all, let's move on to... We will decide the drawing for who wins a copy of Kirby after the news.
After the
Let's
news.
Move into the news.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
That was my
suspenseful
music. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
Everybody, you will just have to wait a little bit more to see who won the game. But now, everybody, it's
You're
time
gonna have to swallow your anticipation.
Which is exactly what Kirby can do, because he literally is capable of swallowing everything. So why his mouth gets full, I do not know. I hate it.
Okay.
Kirby's just made of Play-Doh. He just stretches out.
Thank you for coming to my Kirb talk.
Well,
I love
everybody
Jacob so much. He's just
everybody,
best.
It's time for Femi News. Corey, take it away.
All right. Well, we're going to kick it off with our headlines here. So, last week, State of Play, big reveal, Hogwarts Legacy, right? Big reveal. Already knew it was coming to Xbox, already knew it was coming to PC, but in a rather surprise and under-the-radar announcement, WB Games and Avalanche have announced that Hogwarts Legacy, the upcoming RPG based on Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, is getting a native release on the Switch alongside the other versions. In this prequel RPG, players take on the role of a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry who has the special ability to unlock forgotten magic. Players will attend classes, make friends, and choose their own adventure, while also following the main story following a goblin rebellion and dark magic. Not much else is known about the story at this time, but it's exciting to see such a major third-party release make its way to Nintendo's hybrid console this late in the life cycle. Yes! Am I the only person that's excited for Hogwarts Legacy? I'm jacked.
I'm excited. The Hogwarts Legacy was one of two reasons why I picked buying a PlayStation over Xbox for my new upgraded console. So it's not going to be exclusive to PlayStation. So it's okay, I got a PlayStation, so it's fine. But I'm so hyped. I really am hyped, and I'm happy that everyone can play it on their Switch too.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. I will take the bullet and get it on Switch and let everybody know how it runs. Okay, I know
I'm also going to take the bullet and get it on Switch because
yes!
I want to play it, and I don't want to have to fight Becca over the PS5 to be able to play
That's
play the game. So she's going to be playing it on the really nice, super great graphics TV, and I'm going to be sitting next to her playing it on my little OLED, being like, my graphics are just as good.
My wizards look just as good as your wizards.
Never mind the fact that my wizards are 5 polygons and your wizards are...
Did you guys see the
full
memes going around of the
characters.
PlayStation 1 version as the Switch version,
awesome.
and then the
They were glamorous.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh man, Hagrid looks ragged.
Hey, I have my PS2. I have episodes 1, 2, and 3 on the PS2, and I still love those things. So hate away. It's fine.
That's fair. I don't know if you guys knew that or played these or not, but I remember the Xbox 360 had Kinect versions of 5
Harry
through
Potter.
8, and they were like 7 or 6 and 7. I think were actually pretty good. They were pretty much just Gears of War clones, like they were cover-based shooters, which is hilarious. But yeah, I'm excited. Ed, are you excited? You don't strike me as somebody who whips around some wizarding wands.
So I think I'm going to wait on this one to see what you guys say. For it. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. I'm the person that was screaming at the movies for a lot of illogical stuff.
It's magic, Ed.
But this one does look interesting. And I think I'm just gonna wait and see what you guys say, and if you're enjoying it, and if it seems that it's something I should look into, I'll definitely pick it up for Switch. Because it looks like it got a lot of options and a lot of side quests and things, and I don't know what the main plot is just yet.
I just told you, Ed. They're following a goblin rebellion into dark magic.
Right, but it looked like it's going to be more.
I know. I was just messing with you.
So I'm going to be waiting on this one. This one doesn't really say, "Oh, you need to go get it." No, it's not on the level of the TMT Cowabunga collection for me.
So okay, so that to me in terms of anticipated games, I'm super excited for the Cowabunga collection. Don't get me wrong, I am. It's like if I'm gonna make a list of games I'm excited for, the Cowabunga collection doesn't even count on that list because it's just like an instant. It's just, oh, it's out. Oh, it's on my Switch. Okay, great. Instant.
Right.
Doesn't even count on my list of anticipated games. But I finally watched the State of Play, and this in Hogwarts Legacy went from being I'm interested to my second most anticipated game of the year.
Oh wow!
I'm really excited for this game, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
Is it like a multiplayer game? Are you going to be in classes with other people?
It's not like a live service game per se, but I think it's kind of like drop in, drop out co-op where you can go on missions together, but you can also play the whole thing.
Like Dark Souls style.
Yeah, but I think you can just invite your friends to play with you instead of ringing a bell and drinking a flask and dancing with some skeletons over in the corner while your friends come join you.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for everybody who wants to play it and get it. I'm happy that it is coming to Nintendo Switch. I think we'll probably see more of it at E3. This year. I think Sony probably just had the exclusive to show it off.
Yeah. I'm going to be really interested to see what it looks like and how it plays on Switch.
Who's making this game?
Avalanche, the team behind Disney Infinity and Cars and
Square Enix. Take note. You can bring games native to the Switch. It is possible.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. Dude, as soon as this was announced for Switch, I was like, see, Kingdom Hearts has
no excuse.
There is zero excuse. Zero. None. Zero.
What Bun, I know you were talking about wanting to be able to have the game or be able to pick your house. Are you going to be okay if the game doesn't let you, if you have to answer questions?
It does let you pick.
Oh,
Okay, I was gonna say I will restart the game a billion times.
So, in the movies, right? Like the Sorting Hat. For people who aren't, aware of Harry Potter, right? The Sorting Hat places you in one of the 4 houses that they think you'll be the most successful in, right? But Harry ends up kind of picking his house because they were going to maybe put him, because he can kind of like fit wherever. And
because
so
plot.
What?
I said because plot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. But, but they're adding that to where the Sorting Hat can place you in a house, but you can also pick if you don't like the house you were put in. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm just very attached because I did the whole Pottermore quiz.
Me too.
And I thought I was Gryffindor when I took it. I was like, oh, I'm going to get Gryffindor. That's my personality. And it was like, nah, girl, you a snake. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm a snake. And now I'm attached.
I'm a Ravenclaw, so.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be a Hufflepuff, and I ended up being a Ravenclaw somehow.
I just want to be evil. That's all.
Be Slytherin with me, Ed. That's okay.
Because those movies.
This is why Ed is such a happy-go-lucky dude. It's because he gets all of his evil sides out in video games.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. But that series just made me just yell at it so much. You are in the School of Magic, and for 6 whole movies, you're doing more running than the Scooby-Doo gang, and I'm just like, this is unnecessary.
Those are great movies, Ed. You watch your mouth.
Hot take. I hate Dobby.
Nobody likes who's pulling.
No one likes.
Thank you. Everyone that I tell that to is like, how could you hate Dobby?
He aggressively hates him,
Aggressively. I cheered. We were watching it together, and I got up and cheered when he died.
Was it? What was the? I think it was in 2 or 3. One of the birds or something was bringing a note, and it crashed.
Yeah, the owls. The owls carry your mail.
That was out of all 7 movies. That was the best part of the whole collection. I fell out laughing because the way that it crashed and the sound effects. I was on the floor dying. I think I rewinded that like about 5 times. Just watching on the news. It was the best.
Just wait till you get to the movie where the rat turns into a person.
Oh goodness!
Spoilers. I guess.
I've seen all the movies, so but
statute of limitations. That's not how you spell that either.
No,
whatever.
It's not. It's okay. It's statute of
limitations.
Yeah. Neither of those things were correct.
So yeah, my Patronus is a peebled stallion.
Mine is an otter.
Is it really?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
He cheated.
I did not cheat. I did not.
Mine was an aardvark, and I'm very.
You are an aardvark. Mine's an otter. Restray. It's an otter.
If my kids weren't sleeping, I would do my really terrible impression of Dobby.
Oh wow. But I don't know what I am. I'm the tiger from the Jungle Book. I don't know.
Bagheera.
No, that's the panther. Tiger is Shere Khan.
Oh yeah, Shere Khan. That's right. I just always remember Baloo yelling Bagheera.
I love the Jungle Book. I love that movie.
Welcome to Disney block, guys.
Yeah, you can if you want to hear all about Disney animated movies, you can head on over to Standard Definition and listen to those episodes. All right, we are. Anybody else have anything else to say about Harry Potter before we move on?
That's cool that it's coming to Nintendo Switch.
I know. I'm so happy.
Natively too. It's not a cloud version. That's the coolest part. Is that you can get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Our next headline here: The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time may be headed to the Video Game Hall of Fame. Ocarina of Time has finally made it as a finalist in this year's nominees for the Video Game Hall of Fame. The iconic Nintendo 64 title has been up for being inducted before, but this is shockingly the first time it's made it as a finalist. The other 12 games are Assassin's Creed, Dance Dance Revolution, Microsoft Minesweeper, Miss Pac-Man, NBA Jam, Parappa the Rapper, Resident Evil, Rogue, Sid Meier's Civilization, and Words with Friends. Ocarina of Time came out for Nintendo 64 on November 21st, 1998, and revolutionized the 3D adventure game with Z-targeting, environmental puzzles, and large-scale environments. Cool.
Yeah. So there's a number of games on there that I'm like, if this beats Ocarina of Time, I'm gonna riot. Who is on this committee that voted Microsoft's Minesweeper to be played?
Right.
Like all of them, I was like, okay, well, I could see how this game is like important to the world of gaming history for all of them, except for that one, because as far as I'm aware, everyone that played PC games when like they first had a PC, it was not Minesweeper, it was Solitaire. So like, give it to Solitaire or the pinball game, Space Pinball. That was a good one. But yeah, who the heck plays? I don't care that it's a classic. It's weirdos play Minesweeper, man.
I think there's only one game on here that deserves it just as much or more, and that's Miss Pac-Man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I actually would say NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
I mean, I agree it deserves it at some point, but not over Ocarina of Time or Miss Pac-Man.
Well, no, not over Ocarina of Time, but like
that would be your vote.
Yeah, like kind of.
I mean, I think Resident Evil deserves to be on this list at some point too.
Maybe down the line.
Not now. I mean, like eventually.
Yeah. I think it's because NBA Jam was that big sports game when it came out, when everybody played it at the arcade, and then when it came to Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like it was hard to find that game at Blockbuster. Like that was the weekend game that people were getting, and then all the codes and playing as Bill Clinton, I
forgot about that.
Like, and you cannot deny he's on fire. Like kids were saying that when that game came out and stuff. So it's kind of like it's one of those things. It's one of those Street Fighter 2 things where it's so like, I guess it's so impactful and influential. You know how Street Fighter is, but everybody throwing the Hadouken or the Chun-Li or doing all of the stuff that the characters were doing. That's how NBA Jam was back in the day, when it came out in '94, I believe. And so, but for Ocarina of Time, I would love to see it get into the Hall of Fame because it's one of those games that not only changed the Zelda franchise, it changed gaming in general. Just the same thing that with Super Mario 64. It did something for the series, but it also did something for the industry. Like people still use Z targeting. Like we still see it in indie games and stuff with Z targeting. So it's I think it's way more influential and should be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, the first time you walk out into Hyrule Field, first of all, right? I mean that. I mean, it's not impressive now, but in 1998, that was incredibly impressive. Yeah. And the way you could kind of sort of tackle the other two dungeons in an order that you wanted to, right? And like, that game was super impactful, and the fact that you could like go back in time and then go forward in time, to solve different puzzles.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
Ocarina
Prince
of Time.
of Persia?
No.
Ocarina of Time. Sorry.
Ocarina of Time. Sorry, I was thinking.
No. I spaced out for a second. I apologize. So yeah, but no. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Miss Pac-Man the first time that a female character was the protagonist in a video game? Isn't that the case?
I do not know.
When did it come out? Because it would have been it was arcade before it hit SNES, right?
Yeah. So because it came out on Atari also with Miss Pac-Man, so it would have been around about like 85, 86, I think. When it came
82, Ed.
Oh, 82.
82, yeah.
Miss Pac-Man Here's what Giant Bomb says. Miss Pac-Man generally is accepted as the first famous female protagonist in video game industry. Samus Aran is generally accepted as the first female human character in video game history.
Oh, please.
Yeah, Samus came out, or Metroid came out in 1986, so.
Yeah. I think Miss Pac-Man had been in arcades for so long that I remember when I played it. I played it on the Atari 2600 or 7200. I'm sorry, when they came out. So I didn't get to play in arcades, but I see. But I didn't see it when it actually came out in arcades and stuff. So that's why I was thinking like 86 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pac-Man Jr. was like the third release. No, Pac-Man Jr. was the third release. Because then the 3D Pac-Mans, that 3D Pac-Man that looks like a Lego with the Diag was like the fourth game in the series. Goodness, I'm old.
You are. It's okay.
Well, I think Miss Pac-Man definitely deserves it. And I was just surprised that Ocarina of Time wasn't already
there.
Yeah. Well, this is like the third time it's been up for nomination, and this is the first time it's been a finalist, which is ridiculous. Like, I mean, I kind of have my feelings on Ocarina of Time, but there's no doubt how important that game was and how influential that game has been, and just, you know, the different things that it did for gaming, and, you know, it I'm shocked. I thought it was already in, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That was the more shocking thing to me.
Yeah.
Was that it wasn't just already there.
Yeah.
But
there should just be like instant, like, oh yeah, that should be in. We're just gonna throw it in. They're not getting votes. It's just going in.
It just is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody have any favorite memories of Ocarina of Time before we move on?
Fighting that hand that just drops out of nowhere and grabs you, or tries to grab you and take you at the beginning. That was one of the most scariest parts in that whole game.
That sounds terrifying. Pass.
It really is, because it's just a hand that grabs you and niggas like and it takes you away and it drops you. I'm like, because the hand comes off a screen. Like, you can't lock on it or anything. It literally drops out of nowhere if you're not paying attention, and it would literally come and grab you.
See, I don't remember that. Although I've only played Ocarina of Time all the way through one time, but
yeah.
The Wall Masters.
Yeah. Those are the hands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember those things that looked like really fat Chinese finger traps that would like eat you and then steal your stuff.
Likes, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are gross.
Yeah.
I have a fun memory just playing it. I used to, because I was a big chicken, so I was just talking in chat about how the Stalfos scared me. So I was so excited when I learned the Sun song, because I was like, yes, I never have to see these things again. But I remember playing it and like just running around and like doing everything I could, and I remember entertaining my little brother by purposely attacking the cuccos, the chickens in Kakariko Village, and then once you attack it too many times, it like crows, and then they all swarm. And so I would do that, and I would yell "Attack of the Chickens" like a maniac and like run away, and he would giggle, and I would do that for like hours, just for entertainment purposes. So that's my favorite memory from the game, is that I'm insane.
I've mentioned this on Pal Block before, but I attribute my like desire to be a content creator partially to Ocarina of Time, because I had some friends that lived up the road from me when that game came out, and they would come over after school. Like, we would all get off the bus and walk back to my house, and they would just sit there and watch me play, because like they didn't have it, but they wanted to see it, and they like we went through the entire game together as like a group of 3 friends.
Wow.
And they were like helping me with dungeons and stuff, and like I remember specifically there was a Saturday where they came over really early in the morning and were like, we're getting through the water temple today, and we just sat there and played the entire day. It was super cool.
I remember getting the big sword in that game and swiping them. I was just like, this sword is like Soul Calibur huge. It's too much.
Yeah, but if you like the first one you get, it just breaks like all the time, and it's stupid. Oh my gosh, it broke! What are you doing? Man, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, a game that I actually bought the strategy guide for it because I couldn't get through the when I got captured by the ladies, I couldn't get through that, and I was trying to figure out.
Don't get me started
Gerudo Valley Prison.
On buying strategy guides for Zelda games, Ed. Get me started. I bought. Yeah. I mean, so. I know I've told this on the show 100 times and everything else on other shows, but like my experience with Ocarina of Time was a bad one. Because like I was playing through it, right, and it was hard for me because I had never really played a Zelda game before except for Link's Awakening. So I was playing through it and I got to the Shadow Temple and I didn't know you had to go back in time to solve the puzzle. And I just stopped playing because I was really frustrated because I didn't know what to do. And so like a year later or whatever, whenever Majora's Mask came out, I bought it. And I bought the strategy guide for Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time at the same time. And so I beat Majora's Mask in like a weekend. It was awesome. It was like the best weekend ever. And so I was like, well, I should probably go back to Ocarina of Time and play and finish it. And this was like, I don't know, a year later, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm banging my head against the wall. And I was like, you can go back in time in Ocarina of Time. And I did not know that until that moment. Then I beat it and it was fine. Turns out I only had to beat the Shadow Temple and the final boss and I beat it. So it's a very anticlimactic build up, but it's okay. Mirror Shield was cool though.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna move into the wrap up. Remember, if you have anything you want to say, just blurt it out. Blurt it out. Triangle Strategy has sold 800,000 units in just 2 weeks. That's pretty impressive for that game. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this game. I'm not enjoying it as much as I wanted to, but we'll get to that in playing with power. Nintendo Switch Online is getting 3 Nintendo 64 games. In the latest trailer, they showed off Pokemon Snap, Mario Golf, and Kirby and the Crystal Shards. If you have Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, you will be able to play those whenever you want.
I'm gonna jump in here just because it's relevant and breaking news. I'm sorry if I'm stealing your thunder because if it's the next thing or not. But Nintendo just tweeted out right before the show that they're adding folders to Nintendo Switch, so now you can group up your games all together.
Really?
In different categories and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this with the 14.0.0 update?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. You can finally create categories. There's already a lot of memes coming out of it. Somebody did nothing category and everything else category. That was a really good one. And then somebody else, I think Andre from Game Explained, did Cruisin' Blast and then not Cruisin' Blast. was everything. So, but I'm excited, man. I really like having the categories. I'm excited to go through and put all my Mario games together and Zelda games together and then like little indie titles and then like have a list of games that I've 100%ed. And dude, it's super cool. I'm very, very excited about groups.
That's very exciting. I'm also excited.
I'm going to jump in because I actually got to do it. It doesn't take too much to do. I did one for RPGs. Like I just grouped them all and everything. Once you like create select all the games that you want, it'll allow you to put them in alphabetical order it'll allow you to put in which way you want to do it after you select all the games. And then when you get done with that screen, you get to name what you want for your group. And then when it's done, anytime you go to all software and you press L, you'll see that group folder that you made for those games. So yeah, you are able to create up I think you could select up to 200 games for it.
Nice.
So yeah, that's I have a picture on my Twitter, on my Twitter page that just shows how it looks from the outside, but I didn't get to capture it from it selected. And it's not that hard. You just gotta see what you want and then select it and then go about your business and everything.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. I'm gonna do that.
Breaking PAL Block news.
Wow, this is funny. A cheap ass gamer tweeted out theirs, and it says like they have a folder that says murdered games, and all that's in it is Super Mario Brothers 35 and the Mario 3D All Stars collection.
Nice.
And Fire Emblem.
It's good.
Man, thanks for bringing that up, Jacob.
Yeah.
Nice little extra for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Extra. Speaking of extra, Lego and Nintendo have revealed they're bringing an extra character set to their Lego set, and that is Princess Peach. The set actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 got an action-packed new trailer. And let me tell you, Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, is so good. It's so fun. And this one looks better.
It was so much better than my expectations.
Oh, yeah, I went in with like 0 expectations.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bun.
No, I was just going to say Sonic 2 comes out the day before my birthday, so I would like to take credit for the whole movie.
Thank you for the gift for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I am a little worried that people are going to go into Sonic 2 with the expectations that Sonic 1 set, and it's going to become a huge disappointment. Like, I'm a little scared that that's going to be the case, but Knuckles is in it. Tails is in it. I've been super jazzed about Knuckles ever since that scene that they first showed him off where he like stopped Sonic. I've talked about it a bunch. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen it, the Sonic 2 posters are made to look like the Sonic 2 box art, which is so brilliant. Like it's so good. Cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh! So now we're gonna get Sonic 3 and Knuckles hopefully next year, which won't make any sense because Knuckles is already here. But you know,
what if you could like somehow they're like swap the Blu-ray out while it's loading the scene and you can watch the Knuckles?
That would be so freaking cool, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Man.
I have Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my gosh, dude!
You have to. It's really good. The love for Sonic in that movie is so good because and it's so subtle too. Like there's little bits where there's like certain music is playing in the background or like references are on the like scenes and just different things that they say.
Jim Carrey as Robotnik is like top
he's
tier.
Really good. He's not just Jim Carrey playing Robotnik playing Jim Carrey. He's like actually like he makes a good Robotnik, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
They did ruin Sonic by having him floss, but other than that, it was okay.
Hold on, they fixed Sonic from that abomination of an animation.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, who okayed that design? First of all,
someone at Sega had to.
But Sonic looks good. Tails looks amazing. Tails looked like they ripped him right out of the game, and they got the correct voice actress for Tails, right?
Did they? I didn't know
the voice actress from the games. Let me look her up because I want to give her credit.
Oh man, that's super cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Tails stuffed animal.
And they changed the poster to add her name to it because she wasn't on the poster. Name. And fans were like, put her on the poster, and they said okay. And they changed all the marketing posters to have her on the.
And Sega, if you're for some reason hearing this, I know that Idris Elba has like announced that he's not going to be doing acting anymore. So if you need a stand-in for Knuckles, I will be your guy. I will be Knuckles. I would love that role.
Well, didn't they already announce that he was doing a Knuckles show?
I don't know. All I remember is that he kind of came out and was like, I'm going to focus on music now. I'm not going to do acting anymore.
That's news to me. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I'll find the link and send it to y'all. But yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing. Everyone was like, he got Knuckles, and then he left. That was it.
Absolutely shameless self-promotion.
I would love to be Knuckles.
Man, who? Okay, there's like 5 people listed here. I don't remember which one. That's not right because that's Sonic Boom. Tails. Okay, I'm gonna find it. Colleen Shaughnessy. Anyways, there, I tried. I'm glad.
Excellent.
Well, Ed, that's the end of the news. I'm going to throw it back to you for our giveaway. Did you pick a winner yet, Ed?
No, I
or
picked
Jacob?
the winner.
Yes, Jacob picked the winner.
So I'm spinning the wheel right now. Y'all can't see it, but it's the same wheel that I use for my own giveaways. The winner is it is Still Sane Shane. Congratulations, Still Sane Shane.
Yay!
So, yeah. Do we? So Ed and I were talking. I'm very excited. Go Shane! Woo! But we were talking about our next giveaway already. Do we want to wait a week to so we can kind of come up with a better plan, or not a better plan, but a plan?
Well, we can announce the game, and then next week we will go to what people will have to do. So everybody, next giveaway is for Nintendo Switch Sports. That is our giveaway for April. So you want to come back to Nintendo Power Block to learn more information on how you have a chance to win that game.
Also, follow Power Block Podcast on Twitter. We've opened up we've made a team decision to give the podcasts their own Twitter accounts. We used to do this, and then when we were kind of forming Boss Rush Network, we were kind of like, let's give everything under one banner to get Boss Rush going and whatever. And now that we have so much content flowing out, we decided to open them back up. So if you want to follow Power Block Podcasts for, podcast updates, maybe some Nintendo news floating out from the website, that kind of thing, follow Power Block Podcasts on Instagram and Twitter. You won't be sorry.
Yay! Well, guys, are you ready for Doc Mode? Okay.
No.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Well, here we go. We know Nintendo for a lot of their well-known franchises: Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, and more. What we don't really focus on is their lesser or B-team series that may have a chance to gain a bigger fan base. So, the Elite Black Agents are gathering their Kid Icarus bow and arrows and about to discuss the codename themes of B-team series that could make a big impact on Nintendo Switch. You ready, Elite Black Agents? Let's go! So, the B-side of Nintendo, I should say.
Wow.
There are a lot of games that kind of have gotten like one game, or it does have its own franchise. Like they have games out, but people don't really pay attention to it. And I think because of how popular the Nintendo Switch is, a lot of these series may have a chance to grow a big following. Back on 3DS, Fire Emblem was a very niche title, and if Awakening didn't sell well, that was going to be it for the series in a way. But successfully, it's been a big thing, and the way that Fire Emblem 3 Hopes has done on Nintendo Switch and still doing kind of like numbers, people are still playing this game. It's really kind of excited to see what can happen if some of these games come on this platform, and it really makes good sale numbers. I have a feeling that can happen. This Friday we got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and a lot of people, depending on how you got a hold of Kirby and how you played it, it's kind of been on and off with some people, but I still think it could. I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land can sell very well on the Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo views Kirby as like one of their top franchises, though. I mean, Kirby sells well all the time because it's so kid friendly, which is ridiculous to think about. That they're like, oh yeah, Mario Kart, Kirby. Those are our top franchises. It's like, gross.
Yeah. So I kind of want to ask you guys, what do you think of they kind of, and it's not a bad thing that I want to say calling them like a B team or B tier series. But what do you think of these lesser known Nintendo first party games? Galatron, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think about them?
I'm gonna go to Corey because Corey is frantically waving his hand.
Okay, Corey.
You didn't see me like.
I was trying to read notes. That's why.
I see how it is. Ed just ignores me. Okay, so I have two. Ed, one of them's gonna make you very happy, but the way I'm gonna describe it is not gonna make you happy. But it's okay. Okay. One, Ed, Sin and Punishment needs to come back, but not as an on-rails shooter. I think there could be cool sections that pay homage to that. But I think with the success of Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade, I think you could make a really compelling RPG out of it, action RPG out of it, where, I mean, you could even look at Xenoblade Chronicles X where you could fly mechs and stuff and you were fighting dragons. Like, you could actually, like, have, like, a dragon pet type thing where you're kind of training it and you take it through training exercises and it can actually help you in battle, or you can have aerial battles like Star Fox. Like, I think you can make something really compelling from Sin and Punishment, and having like a full-blown action RPG with, you know, a homage to the old games without actually remaking the old games. Because, like, everybody says they like rail shooters, but I mean, Panzer Dragoon, the remake, didn't really sell that well, and like they're not like as engaging as they used to be, right? You know, it's not 1997 anymore. You know, I'm sorry, right? It's just there's more interesting ways to create flying. I mean, say what you will about Anthem, but like Anthem's flying was really good. Star Fox always has pretty decent flying. Like, there's more compelling ways to create a game where that involves flying, and I think that Sin and Punishment could really be something really cool to bring back. So my other one, it was Kid Icarus. I think you could do something in the vein of Breath of the Wild, but in like a vertical way, which seems to be where Breath of the Wild 2 is going. So maybe that point is moot. But I think like a kind of like a adventure game where you kind of travel this huge sky world and, you know, visit temples and whatever. I think that'd be really cool.
I'm going to piggyback off of Corey because I'm the CEO of this exact idea, which is Kid Icarus meets the Soulsborne games. I want an anime art style, hard as nails Kid Icarus game.
Kid Icarus, pretty much.
Yes, but that plays like Elden Ring, like Dark Souls, like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like I want a 3D action game that tells its story through the environments and through items, and like they could put so much into that world, and I need it in my life. So, and having it be multiple layers, like working your way like in Kid Icarus, where you start in Kid Icarus's version of hell, and then you get to the overworld, which is Earth, and then you get to heaven, and like that would be very, very cool.
Yeah, I actually like to play off that Souls-ish idea. We talked about it a long time ago, where like I thought of like a Zelda style game where Link, like the dark timeline where Link died.
Yeah,
and you could do like a Hyrule Souls-like game where the world is super dark and you play through as like, I don't know, maybe you end up being Link from a different timeline at some point, but like it's the dark future where Link dies and you play through like a Souls game, and the ultimate goal is to get to Ganon, obviously, but like, yeah, that was my idea at one point. But I like the Kid Icarus one better because I think there's a lot you could do there.
It's just the monsters write themselves, man, because Greek mythology. So
yeah,
I think it works. And
I think it would be really interesting to see Nintendo's take on Greek mythology too. Right? Because I mean, obviously you see God of War at one point.
Hades.
Hades. Immortals Phoenix Rising does some interesting monster design. So yeah, that'd be really cool to see Nintendo's take on it.
All right, Becca.
Yeah, so you said something, and then you said like a Star Fox game. I want Star Fox to come back, and not in a terrible way, because I say terrible to me. I really loved Star Fox 64. I think a lot of people did. I don't think that's a super hot take, but I also really enjoyed Star Fox Adventures on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually it is one of my top 3, I'm being very careful, 3 favorite GameCube games. And I would love a Star Fox Adventures 2. Like, I would cry actual buckets of tears if that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, I think it would be cool to have an actual Nintendogs game on the Switch. I know there's a lot of like Nintendo-like games out there, but they're all garbage. They're just really bad. I've tried to play them. I keep wasting money on them, and they're not as good. And then, where's Pikmin 4?
Dude.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Seriously.
In Miyamoto's pocket, apparently he made the game literally for himself and was like, "All right, we're done. No more manufacturing copies."
He's sitting in his garden with his own Switch, like, nobody's ever getting this one.
I kept thinking, because didn't 3 come out like 2 years ago at this point on the Switch, like the remastered one?
Mm-hmm.
The remaster,
So it's like, what are you waiting for? Like, I thought that was like a, hey, we're gonna release this, and then 4 is right around the corner. But they're being very Metroid about it, leaving us hanging.
Yeah, I mean, that game was announced for the Wii U, and he said, let me find it, because I remember he said it was done and finished, when the Wii U.
It was that famous clip, I think at GDC, at Game Developers Conference, where Miyamoto and Aonuma were sitting there, and Aonuma was like showing off Breath of the Wild at the time, which we didn't know it was called Breath of the Wild, and Miyamoto, for whatever reason, was like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Pikmin 4 will be coming out soon because it's already done."
Yeah,
and then like, no one has ever let that go. And they shouldn't, because apparently it's done. I don't know what's going on.
Here's the quote from Polygon in 2015. Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto made a rather surprising announcement to Eurogamer during an interview in July, saying that the new game in the Pikmin franchise is on the way. It's actually very close to completion, Miyamoto told Eurogamer. Pikmin teams are always working on the next one. Nintendo confirmed in a later statement that the game was in development, but declined to give any more details. It was in development for Wii U. Now,
oh my gosh!
I hope they didn't mean that this next game was in development was, hey, Pikmin.
No, because that was on 3DS.
I know. I'm just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just hope they don't.
Yeah.
It was Pikmin Go, or whatever it's called.
Oh God!
Oh my God! The Pikmin Bloom.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Oh, dude. That's sad.
And I didn't say it because it was part of like the like fun intro that Ed wrote, but the obviously Elite Beat Agents is great. That intro, literally, like Jacob can attest, I dug out my game and played it last night, and because I just had to. It was just like the nostalgia. I was just like, I need to play this right now, and that would be great too to have on the Switch for sure.
It would be.
Yeah. I know for me, and I know Corey always gets me on about this game, so he should know what I'm about to go. But Uniracers, one of the Miyamoto's games that only came out on the Super Nintendo. I think it would like definitely be fitted if it came back. And I know everybody's talking about Mario Kart 9 need to be like almost like a Smash Brothers Ultimate style kind of thing. But I would love to see how that game, like Uniracers being played on Switch, on how that would do.
Ed, I can name 4 better racing franchises that aren't on Switch right now that better than Uniracers. Mario Kart, Mario Kart 8.
But I say for a B tier game.
F-Zero, Diddy Kong Racing, also a game that needs to come back. And Excite Bike.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about B tier.
Isn't F-Zero Didn't that just release on NSO?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
F-Zero X, I think.
Play that.
What if they did Uniracers versus Excite Bike?
Why aren't we talking about Elite? Battleborg Racing, BattleBots Racing, or whatever it is.
Was that from Nintendo first party?
Yeah, it was on the Wii.
You mean Excitebots?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, Excitebots, an Excite Truck. I bought Excite Truck for Wii.
I don't mean to get sidetracked, but didn't Excite Truck, wasn't it notorious for the fact that like there was no collision, so you could just drive through houses?
Yeah, you could drive through anything. It was awesome. I bought it. It was like the one game I put outside of Zelda that I played in like the first 6 months. It was awesome. I think I traded in Red Steel for Excite Trucks, and it was a great decision.
Oh wow!
I don't know. It was Flat Out exclusive to Sony.
I think so.
Because I liked playing Flat Out too on the PS2, and that would be really fun to bring to the Switch because you do crazy games like bowling, but instead of using a bowling ball, you're driving, and then you throw your driver through the pins. It's fun. Just trust me.
Well, my other one was going to be Pilot Wings. I think that would be good for a Switch coming on, and they'd probably be inspired by Flight Simulator in a sense. I would kind of love to see how they were incorporated, and even if they want to do like Google Maps and stuff like, or something with that. I could see Pilot Wings being a nice kind of flying game to explore the world and everything, and treat it like an open world or sandbox game. I think Nintendo could do it.
Ed, you are brilliant. Nintendo should use their new friendship with Microsoft to make a Pilot Wings X Microsoft Flight Simulator game. Oh my god, I would buy that in a heartbeat. That would be amazing.
Hey, Corey, you spoke about Sin and Punishment from Treasure. I would like to see them do Mischief Maker and bring that back. A lot of Treasure stuff that Nintendo should be able to get on the Switch, because Treasure haven't made anything in a while, and I would love for them to bring some of their games to Switch or make something new for it. Like I could see WarioWare or Wario Land come back to Switch. Like I think Treasure is such a good company. I think Nintendo needs to just get them some money and be like, hey, start making some more games.
Yeah. There are two games specifically that I would like them to come back in any way, shape, or form. They're not even B tier games. They're like low end. But if you had a Wii and you played these games, you know what I'm talking about. Last Story from Mistwalker.
Yes,
is just, if you can bring back Xenoblade, you can bring back Last Story, right? And the Last Story was so good and so compelling and just really interesting. And it's really hard to find now, but it was definitely, and I don't know if Mistwalker still owns the IP or if Nintendo owns it or if they co-own it or whatever, but like Last Story is just an amazing RPG that I think everybody needs to figure out how to play.
A Shadow drop for $24.99 on eShop. I could see it happening. Like,
no, I want a $60 HD remaster in my hand.
I thought that was the year that you were saying it was going to release, and not the price point.
But on that end, the other Operation Rainfall game, Pandora's Tower, it wasn't as good, but it was really a really interesting concept and a really interesting game. And I actually think a lot of Souls fans would appreciate it. It's not nearly as difficult, but it was kind of doing that hard RPG style game before Demon Souls, It was really interesting, or maybe it came out around the same time as Demon Souls. I don't really remember how old Demon Souls is, but it was really interesting. It was really difficult, and I think that would be a really interesting game to bring back, if nothing else.
I know people are screwing for Godus to come back, but I'm just like, how do how did you like release Golden Sun on Switch?
As the 2.5D like Octopath Traveler style art style.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think you should license that engine out from Square and just make it.
Square could make so much money licensing that engine out to indie game developers, man, because they love that art style.
I know. I just don't want it to get like overused, right? I mean, I think it's unique. I think it's super unique. And
no more 16-bit games.
What else is coming out?
Style.
What else is coming out with that? I know the Dragon Quest 3 remake is coming out.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest Live Alive.
There's one more game coming out with that engine.
I think it's just those two for right now.
Neat.
Yeah, and then I think Octopath Traveler 2 is probably going to be in that style again.
No, it's going to be a AAA Unreal Engine 5 action RPG.
You know what? I would actually be shocked if Octopath Traveler 2 comes on Xbox and Switch.
It's still not out on PlayStation, which is shocking.
Yeah.
I wonder why. I mean, not that I really care, but I wonder why. Anyways, let's move on. Sorry.
Oh. So I think we kind of got a good set of games from they're like the B tier stuff. Did you?
One more shout out. Sorry. Pushmo.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all that needs to be said.
Well, I kind of want to ask you guys, how do you think these games will impact the Switch? Do you think they will sell well enough, like 800,000 copies, like Triangle Strategy did? Did you think that number could hit those games, in a sense, or Nintendo or those series even hit just 1 million?
Rebellity's Nintendogs plus Cats would instantly hit 1 million copies.
It would do Animal Crossing numbers.
It would do Animal Crossing numbers. If not Animal Crossing numbers, it would do like just shy of Animal Crossing numbers. I think that a Kid Icarus game would do well. There's a lot of people, especially with the 3DS eShop thing going down. There's a lot of people championing Kid Icarus Uprising. So I think that one could do really well. I personally think that they
probably would too. I would think, because even though like I said, I didn't see it, but I hinted that the most recent games aren't great. The Smash Brothers has really created like hype around the characters, and I feel like that would probably do pretty well.
And not even just Smash Brothers, but Battle or Atlas, that Atlas game, Starlink, Battle for Atlas. People were more excited about being able to just play as the Star Fox team in a game that's not even designed for them than the game itself. Like that, there's a call for it, man. There's Nintendo IPs, B tier or not, they're only B tier because they're like cult followings, right? They don't sell as well as the Marios and the Everyman's games, but the cult followings are there, and they will continue to be there. That's why Mother 3 is constantly the meme of Nintendo Directs. It's like, when are you going to bring Mother 3? It's because there's people that want that.
Yeah. I wonder if they're ever, not that I like care about Earthbound or anything, because to be honest, I don't have any affinity for that franchise or whatever, but I wonder like how long they're gonna wait for that, if they ever do.
I think we're leaning more towards the if they ever do category at this point.
It might happen. They deemed it important enough to add it to, I keep wanting to call it Virtual Console, NSO.
Yeah. So, Earthbound 1 and 2.
And they're on the Smash lineup too. So I don't know.
Also, I guess it's worth noting that the 30th anniversary for Earthbound is coming up in 2024.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you would wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, with that, I think this would be the smart thing to do. if they decide to bring Mother 3 to the West, I think they won't go through Treehouse. I think they'll probably go through A4 Play. Because Nintendo has worked with A4 Play on localization, and I think they would do a fantastic job localizing that game and getting it to America. And A4 Play, they like the tease stuff and everything, and they're, like I said, they have a good partnership with Nintendo to localize their games. So I think if they were going to do Mother 3 for 2024, that would be the thing to do it. That would be the way to do it. And I think a lot of Americans will buy the game because, excuse me. Once Nintendo puts out a survey and has a list of games and Mother 3 is on that list, they're going to see how much interest of Mother 3 is going to be there. And that's going to give indication that, yeah, I think it's time for us to go ahead and bring it out. And I think people will pay $40 or $60 or whatever Nintendo wants to charge for that game. Like, just don't bring it out to NSO. I say sell it. And I think there's going to be a huge return.
I bet what they could do something like they did with Fire Emblem, right? Where they put it out for 6 months and then they stop selling it. And then that Switch is going to be worth like $6 billion.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a collection of all three of them that way for the anniversary. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
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 Do you think any of the series that we mentioned, do you think any of them need like a full rework, like kind of like how Corey mentioned the Sin and Punishment and not come back as an on-rails shooter? Like, do you think any of them need to be just like full, like the IP is really great, but the game itself and the gameplay needs to just be like completely overhauled in order for it to do anything on the Switch? Or do you think they could just bring back the same style for all of them?
I think Star Fox needs a rework.
Go to Sun.
I think that Star Fox needs a little bit of Star Fox Adventure to level out the R-Wing stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love a good Star Fox on-rails shooter, but I think, like I said with Sin and Punishment, the on-rail stuff is like, it's old at this point, and they need to give a little bit of diversity to Star Fox. They could add a little bit of the Star Fox Guard stuff from Wii U in there, like just to mix it up a little bit. They could have Star Fox Adventures where you're exploring the planet and you use the vehicles to explore different parts of the planet, or you know, you could even go up, you know, obviously fly around in the sky to discover other things, or have space like dogfights or whatever, like the old games. But like I said with Sin and Punishment, you can pay homage to the old games by doing something new and creative that makes you remember the old games. And so I actually think a Star Fox Adventure style game with the flying stuff added into it is way more compelling at this point than a straight up regular Star Fox game.
I think Go to Sun needs it due to the fact that it wasn't challenging, but there were some issues with getting to some certain parts of area to get some of the Division monsters to like power up. For some reason, some of it didn't explain to you. They wanted you to explore, but because it was so much fight warping going in that game, it was kind of hard to be like, you know, I don't want to try to figure out how to get this Division if it keeps putting me in a whole bunch of battles.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I think they need to rework that. Make it where you could be able to get to these secret places. You could even turn it to a puzzle and make people think, but you need to make it accessible where people could go in and be like, okay, I got it, and not worried about having any trouble or anything like that. Because that was like a really problem for me. And plus it was on the Game Boy Advance. So trying to see it and get to it without warp fighting so many times, yeah, they would need to rework that game for it. Becca, any game for you that needs to rework?
No, I agree. I mean, I agree 100% with Corey on Star Fox. And then obviously Nintendogs would have to have quite a transformation, because it was very, I mean, it was the whole point was to showcase the DS's capabilities a little bit. It's like the Astro's playroom of the DS.
Yeah.
So obviously that would have to be reworked, but I mean that's not a huge like plot heavy game, so it's fine.
I know for me, Hotel Dusk, I feel like needs to come back, give it a good reworked and everything. Like they could still keep the graphics because I really like that paper aesthetic from the DS, and I would love to play the second one that came out in Europe but never came here. Like I would love a collection, but then I would love a new game in it because I think Hotel Dusk is a great mystery, great story, great adventure, like visual novel adventure game that I think a lot of people miss, and I think because of the Switch, a lot of people will come back to it and learn about the game, be like, oh, I can't believe I missed this series, and really give it a try. Like I would love to see that come back, even though Sing isn't in business anymore. I think Nintendo still owns the IP, so I think they could do something with that. No, I would love to see it. Anything else, you guys, before we wrap up this conversation?
Bring back Street Pass.
Street Pass.
Wow. Bring back Street Pass. Also, bring back PSO from the GameCube. That's not a Nintendo specific IP. They have PSO 2 now. It's very successful. But bring back PSO. I want to play PSO on the Switch and modern day console with my friends. So
yes,
bring back PSO. And Doshin the Giant as a game.
Oh wow! What about Captain Rainbow?
Yes, bring back Captain Rainbow as well, man. Gosh. Captain Rainbow's great, dude. You have to make fat Little Mac not fat anymore. It's such a quirky. That's what I wanted to say. Aaron and I, my buddy Aaron and I were playing Mario Kart 8. The new tracks. Choco Mountain was one of them. And I was like, I don't remember this being exactly the way this map was. So we went back to the Nintendo Switch Online and played the N64 version of Mario Kart. And like, Nintendo used to be so much like wilder and crazy. Like now when a character gets hit with a green shell, they just kind of like spin out a little bit and their cart stalls and then they keep going, right? But like back then, a character got hit by a green shell and they'd go like flying 6 feet into the air, and like depending on who you play as, like Toad would be like then they would like twist, and it was nuts. The game was crazy, and they allowed for like so much weirdness. And Captain Rainbow and Doshin the Giant and Chibi Robo and like Custom Robo, they're just, Nintendo used to be so weird and like creative. And I want them to get back to that. I feel like they're playing a little bit too safe. And it at first it was like, okay, well, they're trying to get back into like people's favors again, and people don't really like weird. But now they're in people's favors. Switch is an incredibly selling console. They need to get weird again, man. I want Nintendo to take risks.
I think their weirdness and their weirdness brings comedy and brings a smile to their games and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny when because Mario Kart is a big funny thing, because you love to see when people get hit with that blue shell or that red shell and they about to win and they just like fall out into a pit, or they spin out and like they about to win but somehow they end up losing and stuff. And watching those videos kind of put a smile on people's when they see it and everything. So yeah, bring that weirdness to Nintendo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get back to it.
So that everybody, we're going to get into playing with power. Jacob, where have you been playing with power?
I have. So Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, which made me have a change of heart, because eventually that means the negative people in there are going to get kicked out. And so I have started playing World of Warcraft again. And it has eaten up a lot of my time. But on the Nintendo side of things, I am playing, obviously I played the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks, the DLC ones from the first wave. But I've also been playing Lumo.
Ooh, yeah. The little wizard guy with the little...
Yeah. So have y'all played it ever, or have you just seen it?
No, I played it when it came out. Probably 2018, I think it came out.
Okay.
Yeah, that game is really interesting.
There's never been a game that I've been like, oh, graphics don't matter, but the graphics are pretty bad. This one, like it looks like a 90s computer game, which I kind of get because like the like plot, I guess, is that real life kid got sucked into this game and now he's like playing the game. So, and it's like a 90s style gameplay thing, but like in a game that the entire thing is designed around these little dioramas and these little rooms, like Toad's Treasure Tracker, I think the graphics really need to be like wow. Like it's just a lot of the same, but the gameplay's been really fun though. I got a little frustrated early on because I there was a spot where you had to like, there was a part where you had to like push a block or push a box, and I got stuck and I couldn't figure it out, and it was just me being really dumb. But then after that, I've had a lot of fun with it. Like the for some reason the collectibles are rubber duckies. You have to collect up rubber duckies in each room, or not in each room, but like in the rooms that they're in. And it's just a really cute little puzzle game where you have to like kind of figure out what paths you need to take and how to handle the world that you're in. And it's neat. It's a neat little game. I do wish that they had gone a little bit more creative with the graphics though, because it gets samey really quickly. But yeah, it's fun.
It looks like the way you remember the PS1 looking. Is the best way I can describe the graphics.
That's well, and the other thing, and this is the part that's like I've really disliked, but like there's like you're collecting like PC things, like you collect like a floppy disk, and that's like the big items that you're running around collecting. And when you get one of those things, the game like it's like oddly sexual about these items. Like it does like a really sparkly, like colorful screen, and it shows this item slowly turning and like and just rotating in slow motion, and the music is like like it's so weird, but that sexual is the only way I can describe it. But it's not sexual at all because it's just like an item, like it's a floppy disk. But just the way that they display it to you instead of just being like the classic Zelda da 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 da, it's like it's really weird.
They want you to know that you got that item and you got it good.
You got it good, man. They want you to know that. But that's all I've been playing.
All right, Corey, what have you been playing with Power?
So I played a lot of Destiny last week, because it was spring break, and instead of doing the admin stuff I wanted to get done, which don't get me wrong, I did some of it, but it was Iron Banner, and it was a good way to level up my character, and I went from 1519 to 1551.
Oh, nice.
In a week, which is like a huge jump. And so, yeah, I played a lot of that, but I also, I played some triangle strategy, and I like it, but I don't love it. I want to like it more than I do, I think. I know Dan is obsessed with it, and a lot of people are obsessed with it, and I want to be that excited for this game, but I think that it's not clicking with me for some reason, and I can't really point to one thing. There is a lot of talking in this game, like an unnecessary amount of talking.
Yes.
But I think the grid-based stuff is really interesting. I think the party is interesting. It's just something with it is just not clicking with me. So I think I'm going to put it down and pick it up later, because I'm also playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition still.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
You're playing two incredibly like intricate RPGs at the same time.
Yeah. And so I really like Xenoblade. I've been playing for like 7 or 8 hours, and I'm still just doing side quest after side quest after side quest because it's just fun to run around the world and do things for people. I want to play through 1 and 2 before 3 comes out. So I was gonna start with 2, because I know the epilogue of 1, or the new section of 1, kind of ties 1 and 2 together. But I decided to start with 1. I'm like, no, because I know the battle system in 2 is kind of more interesting, and I know it's going to be really hard to go back to 1 after you play 2. So I just decided to do that. And maybe what I'll do is, because that epilogue is a separate menu item, I'll play through 1, then play through 2, and then go back and do the epilogue for 1.
So, oh man. Now I wish I didn't. I would have thought of this sooner. So you could do it in a way like how we might do some stuff with Timeline eventually, where you could play, like you said, you could play 1 and then you could play it in release order, right? So 1 and then 2 and then Torna, Golden Country, and then the epilogue.
Yeah.
For 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I should probably play Torna between 1 and epilogue. Yeah. Yeah. I thought about including Xenoblade X in that, but I'm like, no, because that game's like, I have no pass. Even though I have my Wii U hooked up. But anyways, well, it's not really hooked up. It's on the floor next to my TV over here. I don't know. Finger aiming is hard. But other than that, I've been every night before I go to bed, I've been playing Tetris Effect. Like 1 round of Tetris Effect. The music is calming, man. It just like, after a stressful night of Iron Banner, I just sit in Tetris for 10 minutes and listen to the music,
I think I ask this every time that you mention Destiny on this podcast. Did they release crossplay yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why, are you thinking about jumping back in?
Might be something. I don't know. Just depends on if I have time. Probably not. Becca's shaking her head, and the thing is, I want to play games with all of my friends, but then I don't ever have time to do anything. So,
but you're playing World of Warcraft right now.
I know the desire to play games with my friends though is strong.
Maybe when you get tired of WoW, you can jump into another addictive.
Listen, if they ever release PSO again, it's done for me. That's all I will play.
And me, apparently.
Yeah.
Nice.
Goodbye, relationship.
Well, Becca, what have you been playing with Power?
Well, speaking of ending relationships, I have been...
It's happening live on this podcast right now.
It is happening live. My dreams are coming true.
Sorry,
no,
Jacob.
Jacob and I have been playing a lot of Mario Party at night because I haven't played it. I just haven't played it. I don't have a lot of friends that have it. And if I do, and you can hear this, you should play with me. So we've been playing, and we have had a lot of shenanigans. I finally won the game for the first time last night, though, so that was exciting.
Yay.
Not only did she win the game, she got every single bonus star.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was killing because I'm not good at mini games, you guys.
It was like 5 stars to 1.
Wow.
So it was. So I've been playing a lot of that. Been dipping into Mario Kart a little bit just because the new tracks are out, and I don't want to be left out of that. And then I got really, really sick late last month / earlier this month. And while I was recovering, I restarted because I never finished it. I restarted Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, and I have almost beaten that. I need to go to the Elite Four. I'm just doing this cool thing that I do where I don't finish the game. And then not Nintendo related, really sorry. I beat my first PlayStation game.
Yeah. Yay.
On my PS5. Well, my first PlayStation game on the PS5. I beat Spider-Man, the PS4 remaster, and I started Miles Morales, and it's so good.
Nice.
I cried so much.
She did. I tried to call her, I guess, while the ending credits were happening, right? And she
declined. I was like,
she was like, I'm not talking to you right now.
So good, you guys. If you have access to that game and you haven't played it, I really recommend it because it's you feel like you're Spider-Man, and that's my childhood dream.
So I'm halfway through Spider-Man on PS4. I haven't picked up Miles Morales because I've been trying to finish the one on PS4, and it's really good. I think I just need need to take time and be committed to that game and finish it out right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of collectathons too.
Yeah.
I haven't done all of that yet, but I probably will. It's so good.
Yeah.
Very good. That's it, though. That's it for me.
Well, for me, outside of Nintendo, I guess we all have some stuff that we've been playing outside Nintendo. I've started up Tunic. And shout out to Stephanie. You guys should read her review on Boss Rush Network, bossrush.net. She did a fantastic job with the review. Me and her been kind of talking about it, like messaging and stuff. And it's a good game. I will say that it is good, but I am having some problems with it. And I'm not saying that I'm like having technical problems with it, not having that. I really wish the fox was faster when he walked. The slow pace and some of the zooming out, it just makes it kind of difficult to see some things. And I'm just like, come on, y'all can keep this up close and you can make them a little bit faster and everything. But it is a really good game. It really doesn't give you direction in it, and I think the language stuff that they try to use in the game, because you have to collect these paper things that forms the instruction booklet, and when you are collecting them, they tell you stuff that you need to do or you can learn it, because there's not anything that's there to tell you what's going on. You literally have to go to a certain screen to find out what you need to do. And so if you like stuff like that, that's fine. I guess I just wish I really had more of a clear direction sometimes. Then the Fox was a little bit faster. But other than that, I really am enjoying it on Xbox One. But for Switch, got through some more of Triangle Strategy. Great soundtrack. Man, this music is so good. I do enjoy the music. Some like Corey said, there's a lot of talking. I think the whole second chapter is nothing but talking. Like, you don't fight no battles at all or anything. But the voice acting is kind of good. I posted on my Twitter account that one of the characters, Lord Dragon, he's talking all serious and everything in this cutscene while they're at this feast. And then later on, because he had a little bit more to drink, he gets drunk and he starts saying different things. He's just like, I know a little more things, and you should really be able to take her up to the stairs in the bedroom. It's literally funny the way that he goes in and out of it and everything. I was just like, oh, they got a real good voice actor for this, and I was just cracking up laughing. But Triangle Strategy is good. Tried out Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the tracks. Shout out to the Expression Pass because I was able to get it that way, and really enjoyed that. Played more of Aztec, the Forgotten Gods. I really wish they had a map at the beginning of the game, because you cannot find out where you need to go to get to places, and some of the controlling, like the camera, is very problematic. So I mean, it's fine. The Voice of Cards, the Forsaken Maiden, I'm getting through, really enjoying that. I'm halfway through that game, so I just got like 2 more areas to visit, and then I'll be done. Young Souls, this is the 2D beat 'em up game with the with the boy and girl. Really fun RPG action with it, and they do cuss a lot. You know, it very is a mature game, because they would quickly say F you in a quick minute, and I'm like, wow. And then last but not least, I played Sengoku 3. This is an arcade game from Neo Geo. Just wanted to go back old school for a beat 'em up and everything. But that's pretty much what I've been playing with Power. I'm going to talk about the One Piece World Seeker next week, because I started that up also on Xbox, but I can tell you about that later. But everybody, that's been me playing with Power, and that has been the show. I want to thank you, Becca. I want to thank you, Jacob. I want to thank you, Corey, for joining me on this episode. Becca, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Rebelody, not to be confused with the Rebel Audi. Rebelody.
Yes. And on TikTok.
Oh, and TikTok.
Jacob, where can you find you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. That's Galutrad.
All right. Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at I am Corey and HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on the Boss Rush podcast hosting that show, as well as a plethora of other content here on the Boss Rush Network.
That's bossrush.net.
Yes. You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. You can check out more content for Nintendo Pod Block on Wednesdays. That's where we do our recorded shows. Not yet, you guys.
What do you mean not yet? Hurry up.
I have to finish it. Y'all gonna get tired.
No.
You can check out more at bossrush.net. Some of our writings is there. And if you would like to join us on the writer side, come to bossrush.net. We got a great opportunity for you guys to write for the website. Also check out Crossroads that come on Tuesdays at 7:30, 8:30 p.m. Check out Expression Pass.
He's doing it on purpose now.
Expression Bass 1v1 and other content. And other content on our YouTube page. And also check out After Dark. If you'd like to join us for our Patreon, you can also do that. Corey, let them know how they can find us on Patreon.
You can go to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, and for just $1, you get After Dark 2 weeks early, Standard Definition 2 weeks early, Expansion Pass 1 week early, and coming soon, Crossroads Plus 1 week early.
Yes,
for just $1. You can also subscribe at the $5 tier if you want your name read on the podcast, which we have some Patreon producers for March that we will read in April. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah,
that's $1 a month, by the way. So there's like literally no excuse.
Yeah.
Yes, and everybody join us on our Discord for Boss Rush Network. You'll be able to get in touch with us, let us know what snacks you're eating, what games you play, and join in the conversation. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time on Nintendo Pod Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Bye.